Yeah, hey, welcome. I'm Michael Rodriguez. I'm with Pizza Master Ovens. Just a little bit about Pizza Master. So Pizza Master, we're the largest the largest pizza oven manufacturer in the world. We have over 85 different models. We have 1,500 different configurations. So I have everything from the small countertops on into super very large high capacity ovens. So let's step in and take a look at them. So all of our ovens, whether the smallest countertop or the largest oven, we all have the same controllers. All of the doors in the large ovens, all of our doors hinge up, right? It allows me as an operator to get closer to the product. I don't have to reach over a hot door to access it. This is one of our newest ovens, right? This is our 1100 series. 1100 means that each stone inside is 21 inches wide and 42 inches deep. So if you have a customer with a large slice program and they like to do the 20-inch pies, I can do more volume in 20-inch pies than anybody else in the industry. This particular oven, I can make it 2 stones wide, 3 stones wide, up to 5 decks. Each stone will hold 2 pizzas. So you're talking about 6 20-inch pies per deck. So I could do 18 20-inch pizzas at one time. All of my ovens up to 3 decks come with these sliding shelves. So this is a spectacular asset.
That's cool.
Because everybody knows that space in the kitchen is at paramount, right? Real estate is very expensive. So if I have hot product that has to come out, I can slide my drawer out, pull the hot product out, set it down, load my deck, close the deck. So now I've minimally invaded that space and I can deal with it here. It's strong enough that I can cut on it. When I'm done, I slide it out of the way, my aisleway is clear. What makes Pizza Master so unique is the control factor, right? In a typical oven, your only control is this here. What temperature am I going to bake at? In my oven, in addition to saying I want to bake at a temperature, in the Pizza Master ovens, I can go up to 932 degrees. So if I had a Neapolitan pizza where I'm baking at 900 degrees, I can get all the way up to 932, so it allows me to do a large volume in Neapolitan pizza. But the sweet spot is this here. So I have 9 elements on the top of the chamber, and I have 5 elements under the stone. The top controller controls the 9 elements on the top, and this controls the 5 elements on the bottom. So in addition to saying if I'm baking at 525 degrees, I can also, this allows me to say in that cavity at 525 degrees, how much of that 525 do I need coming down on the product and how much do I want pushing from the bottom through the stone? So that allows me a lot of versatility. So if I'm doing a New York style pie, my settings may be in this range. But if I'm doing a Chicago deep dish, well, I need a lot of bottom heat, very little top heat. If I do Neapolitan, it's just the opposite. I need a lot of top heat, very little bottom heat because the pie is going to bake so quickly. Whether it's a Roman pie, I can do any style of pizza, right? And that's what is great about it. It gives me a lot of versatility. Now, my oven also, when you first turn the oven on, it goes into what's called a turbo mode. And what turbo means is I'm going to fully energize all the elements in that chamber to get to temperature fast. So at 525 degrees, I can go from 0 to 525 degrees. I'll probably reach the 525 in 20 minutes, but we tell people I'm bake ready in 30 minutes. So if you have a gas oven, you're talking an hour and a half, 2 hours. If you have an old gas deck oven, sometimes they leave it on all night long. So the ability to get to temperature quite quickly gives me a lot of versatility, and it saves me a lot in energy consumption. If I'm coming in the morning and let's say I'm doing morning prep, maybe I only need to turn 1 deck on because I know that within 40 minutes of when I really need to be on, I can turn the other decks on and I'm ready to go. We all have timers. What's great about the oven too is once I reach my set temp, that turbo is going to drop out for the rest of the day. So at that point, I'm only pulling 30 to 40% to maintain it. It's extremely well insulated. All of my decks are glass and they're illuminated from both sides. So anyone, even a 17-year-old that's operating it, if you want to check the progress of the bake cycle, all you have to do is look through the grass and you can see how it's progressing. Instead of having to open the door, letting heat out and put it. So, of the 9 elements on the top of the chamber, the first 2 elements are higher wattage elements, and they radiate a little bit more heat. So as that helps to create somewhat of an air curtain on the door. So as I open and close that door all day long, it's going to keep that heat inside the chamber, and it's going to compensate for going back. What's great about, again, as we talk about the controller, it gives me the ability, if I have a gas oven and I'm baking it and the bottom is blonde, not cooked all the way, and the top is cooked all the way through, I have no way, I have to keep moving the pie all the way around, chasing heat, chasing heat, chasing heat. Because all the elements in my chamber start at the right-hand side of the chamber, go all the way to the left, and all the way back to the right, I'm not going to have hot and cold zones inside that cavity. So there's very little manipulation. I don't have to open the door and slide the pie to the left, slide it back to the right, spin, spin, move around. So that also helps to decrease the bake time because now I don't have to touch it. I'm not manipulating the product. We have a damper. The decks we have an option for if you have a bread program, I can get a deck with steam. So you can get a deck with steam, creates a little bit taller cavity, and it's an excellent bread oven. So if you're doing baguettes, eggnog rolls, even old world hearth breads, you got a nice artesian stone. It really does a spectacular job with breads. Now, one more thing on our stones. So we have, our standard stone is a composite stone. So it's textured on the top like sandpaper, right? So the texture serves 2 purposes. 1, it gives me more surface area, so it holds more heat. And 2, it allows air to get up underneath the product. So when you pull the pizza out, that crust is going to have a true artesian crust, a nice crunch. It's going to give a lot of integrity to the slice. And because it's...
You use cornmeal for that.
Correct. Correct. And what's also great is because of it being a composite stone, it's very hard. I don't have to cure that stone. So if you want to do a transition overnight from a gas to electric, all I have to do is have the power there, and I can hook up. It burns off super fast, and then you're ready to go. So the stone is really, really nice. Each stone in the back sits in a cradle, right, where the seams are. So what that does is as that oven heats and cools, that cradle will have a little bit of leeway. So it's designed to give the stone some flex. So as I was saying, there's just a lot of little engineering in each part of this oven that collectively really make it a very, very powerful oven. It's incredibly energy efficient. It's extremely well insulated. So at any point, at any temperature, you'll be able to touch any part here, down the sides. The same with the left side, you'd be able to touch and reach down the sides. It's going to be cool to the touch. Plus, I'm not radiating a lot of heat. So I've even had customers tell me that they've saved 10% on conditioning the space in their restaurant because I'm not billowing all of this heat into that space.